Hi guys, thank you for joining me again. It is Friday, March 28th. I know this was supposed to come out on Wednesday, but there were some technical difficulties and I just couldn't, the file was too big to upload. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. I need to tell you that I just did 10 minutes worth of video and realized I wasn't recording. So here we go again. This is just, it's just difficult. I'm learning as I go and I appreciate everybody's patience. What I wanted to talk about today is ego. And when I say ego, I don't mean egotistical. I don't mean somebody who's full of themselves. I don't mean anything like that. What I do mean is that if you think about it, ego rules everything, or most things in your life, or my life at least. How I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, how I'm reacting to somebody, how I feel about myself, everything. So I find myself, I do the best I can. Sometimes it gets a little bit away from me, but if I'm upset or jealous or sad or mad or anything like that, if I can stop and take a step back and be like, hey girl, why are you feeling this way? What is making me react this way? And every single time I have found that it is definitely not about the other person. It is always about me. It's some insecurity I have, or feeling of inadequacy, or just anything like that. And it has really, really improved my life. My relationships with others, my relationship with myself, my co-working relationship, just all around, because I feel like people really respond to ownership. And if you make a mistake and you genuinely apologize and try not to continue that behavior, more often than not, the other person is willing to move forward and grow and work with you. And that has really made a huge impact, because I make mistakes a lot and I have to make a lot of apologies. And all I can do is just try to learn from it and try to not continue that behavior, and maybe one day have to make less and less apologies. And apologizing is hard. I've had to humble myself more times than I can count, especially after going through what I've been through. Like, there's just something about being in jail, withdrawing off of drugs, and having to have a deputy help you shower that just humbles you a bit. So I'm grateful for that experience, because had I not had it, I might not have learned this, or, just went about who I was and just felt like I didn't need to change. I'd make no apologies for myself. That was definitely my vibe for a very long time. I have a really good friend that he is younger, so he's definitely in the I have something to prove phase, which I get, I totally understand. And it's great, but we were having a conversation the other day about this, about how I was saying, oh, I apologize for my behavior all the time when it's needed. And this person was like, oh, I don't make apologies for who I am. And I was like, well, yeah, but like, as I grow and learn and change, I find that I don't have to make as many apologies, because I've learned from past behavior and just don't have to repeat it continuously. And it just really stuck with me. I went home and thought about it for hours. Like, it's ego, right? Like, I'm not apologizing for myself. I'm not in charge of your feelings. Well, absolutely, for sure. However, you are in charge of your behavior. And if you know that that's going to affect somebody else, then maybe don't do it, right? Like, or don't spend time with that person. Just try to definitely worry about yourself, but in worrying about yourself, you can also worry about others. It is all about a give and take and a respect thing. And honestly, people just want to be heard. People want to feel seen. People want to feel understood. And that is impossible when you don't keep your ego in check, in my experience. And even the last week, it has enriched my life so much, being in tune with that. So there was this person that I was really good friends with. I loved this person. They were great. Her and I got along really well. And along the way, my ego got bruised and I reacted in a way that I'm definitely not proud of and was really mean to this person. And it just, things went from bad to worse, and it just was this continual cycle of anger and hurt. And last week I reached out to them and just was like, hey, I apologize for the way things happened and what happened. It is because I felt bad, my ego was hurt, and therefore I took it out on you, and I'm just really sorry. It wasn't, I didn't expect them to have to forgive me, because you don't have to. If you know, all you can do is take care of you and your behavior, and if you're wrong, apologize for it, and it's up to the other person whether or not they want to forgive you, and it's okay, whatever they decide. But this person reached back out to me and just instantly forgave me, which just was amazing to me, you know, that it just taught me so much. Like, I wasn't planning on them necessarily forgiving me, but I needed to apologize, because we only get one life. We only have this one life, and we only get one chance a lot of the time to have relationships with people. And guess what? We are definitely going to make mistakes along the way. But I find that if you are able to take a step back or look in the mirror and really honestly take a look at yourself and be like, hey, how could I have done this better? And then verbalize it and own it, it's a game changer. And I feel like people, I don't remember if I said this in my last recording or this one, I'm sorry, but if I did, I'm going to repeat it because it's important. People just want to be seen and heard and understood and, you know, valid, that their feelings are valid. A lot of times, somebody will tell me a feeling and my instant reaction is like, ugh, you know, like they're being too emotional for me, just, you know, and I all the time have to take a step back and be like, okay, just because you don't react this way or you don't feel this way, the fact that that person feels comfortable enough around you to talk about their feelings and be vulnerable, you need to listen. And what is that about? Is it because you're uncomfortable being vulnerable that this person makes you uncomfortable? And really, if you just break it down every time, it just, so much weight is taken off. And in doing that, I have found that I am more open with people. I seem happier. I don't feel so like standoffish, because that is a vibe that I constantly have to be aware of and try not to do. And I have learned so much about people around me simply because of that. And it's some really cool things. And there are some cool people in my life, in my work life, in my home life. Like, I've learned so much about my coworkers while doing this. It's amazing. I work with some amazing, talented, funny, incredible, beautiful people that I would never have done had I not opened up and been vulnerable, even though it's continually hard for me every week. But I'm going to keep doing it because I'm just growing so much, and I would not have had these relationships if I didn't do it. And I'm gonna continue to make mistakes, hopefully not as many in the future, or hopefully not the same mistake. But if I can remember to check my ego every single time, there's no way that this won't be successful, or my life won't be easier, or that I will feel lonely ever, because I'm building these wonderful, beautiful relationships. And that is almost impossible to do if you are not willing to check yourself, if you are not willing to learn from yourself, if you're not willing to learn from others. Another thing that I work on is feeling like I know everything, which I do sometimes, and I all the time have to be like, okay, calm down, like you definitely don't. or anytime someone gives me new information that I know a little bit about, I'll find myself like shutting off. And then, you know, because, oh, what do you know? I already know. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I already know. And it's ridiculous. And I think that way of thinking got me into some not so great situations and a lot of sadness and confusion and not understanding, like just feeling like a victim, right? And I do not ever want to feel like that again, because if I'm a victim, then I don't have any control of my situation because it's everyone else's fault. Therefore, I can't change or fix it. It's just poor me. And that doesn't feel powerful whatsoever. And I'm a freaking lioness, right? So let's go. But so takeaways from this week, check your ego, be aware of what that means. If you are ever having a negative emotion, if you can, take a step back. It doesn't have to be immediately, just like when you calm down, and ask yourself where it's coming from. What is it about? If you're feeling jealous, why do I feel jealous? Is it because I feel inadequate in this way, or I really tried and it wasn't received in the way I wanted it to be? Just whatever it is, I promise that this will enhance your life more than I can even explain. So yeah, I think that's my spiel today. Thank you again so much. I know my episodes haven't been as consistent, and actually, while I'm on the subject, I am going to try to get 2 of my friends on for my next episode. I would like to interview them. They're beautiful, incredible, amazing women that I think you would learn a lot from. If that is going to happen, my next episode won't be out until a week from this Sunday. I don't know exactly what the date is, but in like 9 days. If they are unable to, then just plan on my episode coming out this coming Wednesday. And yeah, thank you so much. Go enjoy the sun. I'm about to have a great next week, a great few days, a great day, and just love yourself and treat yourself.